The Minnesota Media Archive is brought to you by North Metro TV. Your support helps make the archive possible. Please consider a one-time donation.
Run demo. Insert tape. Loading. Playing. Transferring video. Recording. Disc ready. Transfer your videotapes to DVD and digital at North Metro TV. $12 an hour for tapes. $30 an hour for film. Call 76323122803.
Good evening and welcome to Jerry Shemp Field at Elk River High School for tonight's Northwest Suburban Conference action between the Blaine Bengals and the Elk River Elks. How you doing, everybody? Dave Washburn along with my partner tonight, Jim Kappelhoff. And Jim, it is a beautiful night out here, 60 degrees, a little bit of a breeze. I wonder if that wind is going to be a factor tonight.
Well, it certainly could be. You know, when they do the coin flip out there, it's going to be, you know, who wants the win with them in the second half, who wants it in the first half. So definitely pivotal, especially with the Elk River passing game, which is lighting it up in the Northwest Suburban Conference right now.
Yeah, their quarterback, Lucas Atkinson, is the top passer in the conference. Completion percentage of nearly 60%, about 58%. He's thrown for over 1,000 yards this year and 7 touchdowns as well. A little bit earlier on this afternoon, I had a chance to talk with Elk River head coach Paul Gustafson about Lucas Atkinson and the rest of the Elk River squad. All right, joining us now is Elk River Elks head coach Paul Gustafson. And Paul, it's a beautiful night for football.
It is a beautiful night. It's a special night. Friday nights are always special. We tell our kids under the lights it's a great time of the year. We just hope the weather holds off. We heard it was supposed to get some thunderstorms here around 8 p.m., so hopefully it'll hold off.
Okay, now you guys have had some very special Friday nights the last 3 weeks, 3-game winning streak after getting off to a little bit of a slow start.
We have. The kids are playing with a lot of confidence, and we've lost a couple games, tight games earlier in the season, and I like what our team is doing right now. They're playing really well.
Yeah, you had a very big win a couple of weeks ago against Maple Grove. I don't think a lot of people expected you to come out on top in that one.
You know, our kids went into that game with a lot of confidence. It was our homecoming, and they came ready to play, and it was an outstanding football game.
Okay, now one of the guys that's been leading the way for you is Lucas Atkinson, your quarterback, top-rated passer in the conference, and he's led your team to the top offense in the conference as well.
Lucas is having a great year. He's worked really hard in the offseason to get where he's at. He was a starter for us last year, an all-conference player, and he stepped right in and become a tremendous leader for us, and we need him. We need him to play well.
Another one of your team's leaders plays both sides of the ball for you, Aaron LaPointe. Tell us a little bit about him.
Aaron is a 3-year starter for us, and he does just about everything. He's our middle linebacker. He's a halfback on offense. He's our punter for us, and he comes from a long LaPointe family of sons and dads, and they've been very special to football in Elk River, and he's the last one, so it's going to be sad to see him go.
Okay, high-powered Elk River offense, high-powered Blaine defense. You expect a higher low-scoring game tonight?
You know, I really expect this to be more of a low-scoring game. I really do. I like what our defense is doing, and I think it's going to be low-scoring. You never know, though, but so.
All right, well, thanks for taking time out of your busy night. Appreciate you stopping by.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thanks for coming.
That's Paul Gustafson, the head coach of the Elk River Elks. Bengals head coach Shannon Garrity joins us now, and Shannon, a nice night for football and hopefully a nice night for a Blaine win.
Yeah, it's a beautiful night. We're really lucky. I thought it was going to be raining and we're going to get some ugly weather, and I guess it might come in, but it doesn't matter. Any night's a great night to play high school football.
Exactly. Now, last week after all the rain and the playing in the mud, were there any injuries that we need to talk about?
No, we're pretty healthy, knock on wood. We're healthy right now, and last week was an experience I think our kids enjoyed. We like to forget. We got to move on to another night, and we're excited to play.
Okay. Now, very high offense tonight. Plans on defense?
No, not really. We know the wing tee pretty well. We run it. We've been defending it for a long time, and we think we have some good schemes versus the wing tee, and we're just going to line up and play football.
All right, sounds good. Back by committee. Continue to switch Cedric Markins over to the offensive side. Seems to be working pretty well for him.
Yeah, Cedric brings an attitude to our offense. He runs the ball very hard, and he's a good blocker, and that kind of breeds. One guy is running hard, the next guy wants to run hard. One guy blocks hard, the next guy wants to block hard. So that's been a really good move for us to move Cedric over the offense. He's really a valuable player for us, and our offensive backfield, we really like how it's looking right now.
Yeah, A.J. Kelly getting his second start of the year, or second start in a row, I should say, after getting off to a little bit of a slow start. Looks like he's coming into his own, too.
You bet. A.J.'s a junior, and it takes a little while for some juniors to catch on, and he's been great all year long, and he's our fullback tonight, and we're really excited to see what he can do.
Ryan Parsons, your quarterback. What can you say about Ryan?
I love coaching Ryan. He's a great competitor. He is a great runner. We got to get him to get some reads on his passing game, and every week he gets better and better. So I'm excited to see what he has to do tonight.
Thanks for stopping by tonight, Shannon. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
That's head coach Shannon Garrity, the Blaine Bengals.
Yeah.
And we're back at Elk River High School. Dave Washburn along with Jim Kappelhoff. And Jim, in that chat with Shannon Garrity that I had a little bit earlier on, we talked a little bit about running back by committee. They had a little bit of trouble rushing the ball earlier in the year, and actually now the Bengals are the top rushing team in the conference. But a lot of that has been due to the fact that Cedric Larkins has moved from linebacker to running back. That happened during the Coon Rapids game, and he's been doing a great job so far.
Yeah, it's amazing. In the history of the Blaine Bengal running game, they always find the diamond in the rough, and Cedric Larkins is coming on strong. But don't count out Patrick Williams and A.J. Kelly contributing to that rushing.
Yeah, and Ryan Parsons has helped out quite a bit, 412 yards on the year rushing, and he's gained more yardage actually rushing than he has passing, or close to it, 475 yards passing as well. So a great year for a young, talented quarterback, only a junior, Ryan Parsons.
Yeah, Ryan comes in and he brings a couple things to the Bengal offense. That running game, like you said, he can run out of the pocket and scramble real well. He's a big kid. He's a headsy kid. He sees the field real well, and he can hit his targets. The passing game hasn't been right where they want it right now, but the rushing game is picking up, so I expect that would open up the passing game a little bit more.
Yeah, one thing to look for is the line play of the Blaine offense versus the Elk River defense. I was taking a look at the starting lineups earlier. Nobody over 200 pounds on the defensive line for Elk River, and every position for Blaine, they outweigh the player going up against them on the other side of the ball. So we'll see if the Bengals offensive line can take control of the line of scrimmage in this one and use that to their advantage to help with the running game.
Well, I think that's what the offensive coordinators have seen, is that they outweigh the defensive line of the Elk River Elks. If Blaine gets the rushing game going and they control the ball, have a controlled game, put some points on the board, like Coach Gustafson said, this could be a low-scoring game. It could grind this front line of the defensive Elks down.
All right, let's take a look at our starting lineups for these two teams. For the Blaine Bengals in the backfield, it'll be Cedric Larkins and Patrick Williams, the halfbacks. A.J. Kelly getting a start tonight at fullback. Ryan Parsons will be the quarterback. He'll be tossing the ball to Tommy Bergeron as receiver. Matt Topeth over at tight end. Across the front line for the Bengals, the tackles Brad Dahlman and Joe Vanstrom. Dan Fredrickson and Max Hooker are the guards, and Andy Bittman is the center. The Elk River defense across the front line: Ken Quam, Daniel Peterman, Tim Nieber. There we go. I'll get that one right. And Ryan McGee. The linebackers for Elk River: Mitch Eversman, Mitchell Collins, and Aaron LaPointe. We talked about Aaron a little bit in the pregame show. The defensive backs: David Furlong, Danny Kohler, Stephen Benson, and Aaron Schmidt. For the Elk River Elks on offense, their backfield will consist of Dylan McAlpine, Aaron LaPointe, and Donald Jager in the backfield. Jager with a couple of touchdowns last week against Osseo. Lucas Atkinson leads the way at quarterback, a 6'2", 205-pound senior. And his main receiver is Stephen Benson. As you may have heard me mention, Benson plays on both sides of the ball. He's only 5'11", 145, so we'll see if that's a factor. Kyle Olson, the tight end for Elk River. Across the front line, the tackles: Lucas Scheel and Lucas Strasburg. The guards are Jason Cole and Joshua Bebeau, and Joshua Croyce is the center for Elk River. The Blaine Bengal defense across the front line: Brad Kingman and Raditz are the ends. The tackles are Jason Johnson and Dave Ulrich. Linebackers: Andrew Geisen, Colin Olson, and Tim Morin. The defensive backfield, the corners are Steve Moore and Adam Hansen. The strong safety, Tony Kunza, and the free safety is Brennan Warner. So there you have the principals in tonight's game as the never-ending introductions continue. These teams, it's about the longest introduction I've ever seen, I think, Jim.
Yeah, I think they're going through the whole lineup here. I don't know, Dave. I keep watching for the end here, and it hasn't happened yet. So they have introduced the Blaine Bengals, so the Elks are the last one. Hopefully it doesn't rain tonight. It's a very nice night right now.
Yeah, as I mentioned, a little bit of a breeze. It would be blowing from our right to left, so the team heading from left to right is going to be going into the wind tonight, and we'll see how that affects the passing game for both of these squads. Of course, Elk River, I think, throws the ball a little bit more than the Bengals do, as you saw from the total yardage in the case of Luke Atkinson. He has over 1,000 yards passing already on the season, and Ryan Parsons with about 475, so not nearly the passing game for the Bengals that Elk River possesses, and that could be a factor with the ball blowing around a little bit, but you never know if this game comes down to a field goal at the end, which it may. Elk River and Blaine both have had several close games this year. That could be a huge factor.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you look at the all-purpose yards, though, it's a pretty evenly matched game right now. 1,978 all-purpose yards for Elk River, 1,868 for Blaine. So that tells you that both teams are capable of putting some yards in the game. And talking about passing, Elk River has doubled the number of attempts in passing to Blaine. So, you're going to come out and see a real good show here tonight. The Elk River passing offense against the Blaine defense.
Yeah, and, numbers-wise, the ones that count, the points on the board, I mean, the Bengals offense averages a little over 21 points a game. Their defense a little over 12 points a game. Elk River 25 points a game, so about 4 points better. And but their defense gives up more, nearly 18 points a game, so 6 points worse. 5.5 actually when you figure it all out, get down to the real math. And these teams pretty close, pretty evenly matched. Both teams probably didn't get off to the start that they would hope to begin the season. The Bengals losing that early game to Maple Grove, but they've turned things around with that close win over Coon Rapids and a couple of other nice wins along the way against Champlain Park and Anoka. Things get a little bit easier for the Bengals next week as they will go up against Osseo at home. The Elk River Elks, I will have to...
I think they travel to Anoka.
That is correct. Didn't get that written down on my notes, but
I'll pick you up on
Jim,
this, Dave.
Johnny on the spot, bailing me out on that one. Well, it'll be Elk River receiving the opening kickoff, so Kyle Savakul will boot it away and see if we can get a look at the numbers on the players back deep for Elk River. We've got huge windows here in this press box, which help with the visibility, but with the lights on also create quite a bit of reflection. There you get a look at the deep man. That's Stephen Benson, the wide receiver and defensive back. And I believe over on the other side is Lewis Iverson, number 3. And Kyle Savacool will get set to kick it off. The Elks, of course, in their black uniforms, red trim. Blaine in white and blue.
It's interesting. I wonder who won the toss here, if Blaine won it and deferred, or if Elk River won it and deferred.
Well, here's the kick, kind of a short kick for Savacool, and we'll see if it rolls out of bounds. It does. It trickles out of bounds at about the 5-yard line. Actually, that ball, once it got up in the wind, carried a little bit more. When he first lifted it off, it looked like it was going to be a high pop-up kind of kick, but the wind carried that down toward the end zone.
Yeah, it did, but unfortunately, it went out of bounds, and it's a penalty, and I think they start at the 40-yard line, if I'm not mistaken.
35.
35, there we go, 35-yard line.
So Elk River will line it up as we'll start with a single setback in the backfield for the Elks. One man split to the far side. Here's Atkinson with the handoff up the middle. I believe that's LaPointe. He'll pick up a few as he bowls his way forward to about the 38-yard line. And that's Donald Jager with the carry, number 39. So a 3-yard pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd down and 7.
You expect that Elk River would come out and pass on the first play, but maybe they're trying to establish some type of running game. I would suspect this is going to be a pass.
Yeah, this time Benson split to the near side. The handoff does go up the middle, and it'll be Jager once again. He'll pick up a few more. He's out across the 40 to the 43. That'll be a gain of about 5 yards on the play and bring up a 3rd down and 2. So Jim, Elk River keeping it on the ground.
Right away, yeah. And why not? Testing it at the defensive line of Blaine right now. Going right at them. If they can get a 1st down here in the running game, they're establishing something.
3rd down and 2. They shift the offense. Benson splits out to the near side. Kyle Olson will move into the slot. Man in motion to the near side. Handoff up the middle once again. He didn't get it as he will be stopped shy of the 45-yard line. Maybe a gain of a yard on the play, as the ball carrier on that one was Jager once again.
3 times with Jager on that right side. They must see something in the films that shows that they can get on that right side, but Blaine stiffened up right away on that one.
Well, Paul Gustafson calls the officials over to the near side. Not sure what the conversation is, but they will be forced to punt as Aaron LaPointe, Mr. Everything for the Elks, will be on to punt it away. He'll stand at about his 30-yard line. Back deep will be Tommy Bergeron for the Bengals. Short punt to the near sideline, and no chance for Bergeron to return that, but he won't need to get great field position for the Bengals, as they will have it at the 38-yard line.
Well, that's a real short punt and a great opportunity for Blaine with good field position with the wind at their back right now to march it down the field.
So the Bengals take over with just over 10 minutes to go here in the first quarter. They'll split Bergeron out to the to the far side. Single setback will be Kelly, I believe. Here's Parsons rolling to his right. Looking, he throws downfield over the outstretched hands of the tight end, Matt Topeth. And the first pass of the night for the Bengals falls incomplete. So the leading rushing team comes out throwing the ball. The leading passing team comes out rushing the ball. And I'm sure over the course of time, both of these teams will settle into their tendencies.
Yeah, I would think so. It's a chess match right now. You don't know what's going to happen. 3 runs in a row from Elk River. Parsons rolls out and throws it downfield. I don't know.
Now this time it'll be Bergeron split to the near side, as they'll reset the ball at the near hash mark. I think they forgot where the ball was set up to begin with. And it looks like Larkins. Now Williams will shift into the backfield. Larkins will split out into the slot. Kelly will remain where he was. The handoff to Patrick Williams. He turns the corner, and he'll pick up a couple before he's brought down. There on the stop for Elk River was Aaron LaPointe. So about a 3-yard pickup for for Williams. Williams, you'll see with the ankles heavily taped. He twisted an ankle a couple of weeks ago. I believe it was against Champlain Park. No, against Coon Rapids, and now he's got both ankles taped up. From the shotgun is Parsons on 3rd down and 7. He'll look downfield, and a nice grab and a catch by Steve Moore. He'll pick up 14 yards on the play and a Bengal first down.
Steve Moore up the middle. They sent 3 receivers deep, and Moore curled underneath the zone. And nice pass by Parsons, put it right in the numbers, and Moore with a great catch, bringing it down for a first down.
Yeah, Moore had a couple of great diving catches toward the end of the game in that Coon Rapids game, and it was very impressive to see. He may not be pretty sometimes, but he gets the job done. Now it will be Moore split out to the far side. And the handoff to Kelly. He'll look for some room on the right side, but he'll be wrapped up by Tim Niebuhr. And may have lost a yard on the play. And actually no gain. Check that. Sorry, Jim. -1 on the play.
Oh, boy. AJ doesn't want to start that way.
No, he has struggled at times early in the season, and he lost his starting role to Jeremy Torrey for a few weeks, but the Bengals feel confident with him. Here's Parsons being chased out of the pocket, and he's never more dangerous than when he's forced to run, and he'll pick up a few yards down the sideline. We'll check where they spot his progress, and it looks like he stepped out just across the 45. May have gained a couple on that one, so not nearly the progress that at first appeared. So it'll be a 3rd down and 9 now.
Boy, does he come out of that pocket real fast. He's got quick wheels, and I tell you, I thought he was going to be dropped for a 5-yard loss there, the way the Elk River rush came on him.
No, this time it'll be Adam Rutgers and Steve Moore split to the near side. 2 wideouts split to the far side. Here's Parsons over the middle, nearly picked off, and we'll have a flag. We'll see if that's a pass interference. Steve Moore comes up clapping his hands, and we'll check that out. And pass interference is indeed the call. So here's another look, and trying to see who that was coming over to put the hit on Steve Moore, but it will be a 15-yard penalty and another Bengal first down.
That's a big break for the Bengals to get it down that deep now into Elk River territory. Tough call, though. In looking at that on the field, it looked like a boom play, but again, the referees were right there on it.
Well, this time it'll be Bergeron split to the near side, split backs in the backfield. Larkins comes in motion. The handoff to Larkins. He's got a hole, and he'll be still on his feet and finally brought down inside the 20. It'll be a pickup of about 12 yards on the play for Cedric Larkins and another Bengal first down.
Boy, Cedric Larkins bouncing off one tackler after another and gaining good body control and balance to keep leaning forward after spinning away from the tacklers. Gains up 12 yards on that play. Huge. His first carry.
So first down on the 17 for the Bengals as they continue their march down the field. 7:23 left to go in the early going. No score in this one. Here's the handoff to Larkins. He'll try to break it to the outside, looking for some room, and he'll be chased down inside the 15. Give him a pickup of about 5 yards on that play as he's down to the 13-yard line. Let's make it 4. I'm going to screw you up yet.
That's all right. I'm on top of it. I had 4 down there before you did.
All right.
Now Blaine coming out running the ball real well with Cedric Larkins. His first 2 carries, 16 yards.
That's a nice average.
Absolutely. Give it to him again.
This time it'll be Larkins and Kelly in the backfield. Bergeron split to the far side. The handoff to Larkins. He'll cut it back. He's got some room. He's down inside the 10 and down to the 5-yard line. Give him a gain of 10 and a Bengal first down as they'll have it 1st and goal.
Boy, is he a heads-up player when he gets inside that line in the linebacker area. I thought he was going to break it and go all the way here because he saw the goal line and he kept pumping the legs there. And nice tackle by number 5 for the Elk River Elks there. Denny Kohler.
Kohler saved the touchdown, at least for the time being. This time Bergeron will split way to the far side. It'll be Williams and Kelly in the backfield. And Larkin still on his feet.
No whistle.
And finally brought down at about the 2-yard line. Give Larkins a gain of 3 as he came in from the slot position to take that handoff.
They stacked him up. I didn't see how he got out of there. A huge scrum there.
Yeah, it looks like they're actually going to spot it at about the 3. Yeah, that is where they put it. So 2-yard pickup for Larkins. This time he'll split out to the slot. It'll be Bergeron to the left side. And the handoff to Williams, and Williams will sprint for the touchdown.
Nice job. Set it up. They set it up real nice with giving to Larkin the last 4 carries and then give it to Patrick Williams on the outside, untouched into the end zone.
So the Bengals draw first blood here in the first quarter. That drive will go 62 yards. I'll let Jim tell you how many plays it is as Kyle Savacool on for the extra point. Kind of an odd occurrence last week, Jim, at Park Center. 4 out of the 5 extra point attempts as it's up and good. And it's 7-0. 4 out of the 5 extra point attempts that Blaine had, Park Center was offsides on. and they got some talented kids down there at Park Center, but a little bit undisciplined at times.
I guess so, if you're jumping outside in the extra points. That was an 11-play drive.
All right, so they're able to use a little bit of clock, take their time moving the ball down the field, and that's one of the great things about having a strong rushing game is you can use it to keep the ball away from the offense of the other team.
Yeah, Elk Rivers, what do we got left here? 5 minutes, 5.5 minutes left in the first quarter. Elk Rivers had 3 plays. Great domination, like we talked about earlier, Dave, is that the fact that that defensive line is smaller than that offensive line of Blaine, and it could wear them down.
And let's take a look, and this time it was just a question of Patrick Williams outrunning the defense to the end zone.
Yeah, he's got good wheels, too. They're never going to catch him on that play.
All right, Dylan McAlpine and Steve Benson will be back deep for the Elks as they will get the ball back with about 5.5 minutes left to go here in the first quarter and see if they can mount something offensively.
Well, I think the key play in that last drive by Blaine was, that penalty definitely helped. It was probably a 20-yard penalty, and on Steve Moore, the pass interference penalty. But Blaine never looked back, though. They had one play that was a -1 yard, but the rushing game has really come together well.
Here's Savacool's kick. This time he'll keep it in the middle of the field. McAlpine will take it. It appeared he had a foot in the end zone, but they're going to let him run it out, and he'll be out just across the 20. We'll give it to him at the 21-yard line, and I guess they'll rule that his momentum carried him back into the end zone because in high school you can't run it out of the end zone. So,
yeah, he might have been on the. It looked very, very close there. Well, we'll see what Elk River can do now. I mean, are they going to get away from their game plan and start throwing the ball, going to their strong suit here, or are they going to start running the ball here?
Well, we'll have one man split to each side. Atkinson back to pass. He'll flip it over the middle. And there to make the catch was Danny Kohler. So Kohler will pick up the first down as they're out across the 35. A 15-yard pickup on that one.
Nice completion. That slant pass is very difficult to defend, and it's a good pass to get your quarterback going.
Here's the handoff to the near side as Dylan McAlpine. He's got some room down the sideline, and he'll be pushed out at about the 40-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 20 yards. Make that 24 on that play, and another Elk River first down as they're inside Bengal territory for the first time tonight.
I think Elk River is seeing something on that right side because they keep going to that right side, and they just broke this 24-yarder here. Nice run by McAlpine.
So the Elks will hurry it up a little bit. LaPointe goes in motion to the far side. Handoff once again to McAlpine. He's got a hole, and he's down inside the 30 to about the 24-yard line. That'll be a gain of 16 on the play, and another quick Elk River first down. And the Elks aren't concerned about running clock here. They just want to get the ball in the end zone.
No, that's for sure, boy. And they're just hitting that middle. The offensive line for Elk River is just blowing big holes open here.
And we're going to show you a replay of that last play, but they're not going to give us time. They're coming to the line quickly. Here's Atkinson, and he'll dump it off to his running back, Donald Jager. And Jager's down inside the 15. And that may be enough for another first down. It looks like it is. Once they spot the ball, they may have to come over and measure this one. Nope, they give it to him. So an 11-yard pickup and a first down for Jager.
Well, I think you're seeing a great example of why this is the #1 rated team in the Northwest Suburban Conference for offense. And number 18th in the metro area, actually.
So 1st and 10 at the 14. The handoff goes up. No, check that. Keeping it himself is the quarterback, Atkinson. And he'll finally be blasted out of bounds on the far sideline. He's going to be down inside the 10. Check the spot of the ball as he's near the 2. And if that's the case, it'll be about a 12-yard pickup, and it is. A 12-yard gain and another first down. So 5 first downs for the Elks, all on this drive. 4 for the Bengals in the game on their first drive. And it's a 1st and goal situation as Elk River knocking on the door of the Bengals end zone. 1st and goal from the 2. And the handoff to the big man, Donald Jager, and he is stuffed and wrapped up. And there to make the stop for the Bengals was Adam Hansen coming in from his cornerback spot, and he'll be dropped for about a yard loss.
Oh, that's a nice defensive play by that left side of the defensive line for the Bengals in stopping that play. Bengals have to stiffen up a little bit here. Boy, they've been running through them like water.
Now we'll see how the goal line defense holds for the Bengals. 2nd down and goal from the 2. The handoff. Nope, no handoff. They fake it once again, and taking it in for the 3-yard touchdown run is the quarterback Lucas Atkinson, excuse me.
Great play by Luke Atkinson on that quarterback keeper. Rolled out, they faked the handoff to the right, and Atkinson blew right through the left side. Ooh.
And in case you're wondering what the boom was, they do fireworks here after an Elk River touchdown.
I'm going to be a nervous wreck after that. They score any more touchdowns.
Well, we'll just have to get the defense to stop them. And on to kick the extra point was Kyle Danner, and it's up and good. And we're all knotted up at 7 apiece.
Well, I think the Bengal defensive coaches are going to talk to that defensive line and remind them that they're in there for a purpose, because that Elk River team just took it to them right now.
There you see the touchdown run by Atkinson. He's done a great job so far tonight, faking the handoffs, and he's had me fooled a couple of times.
Oh, absolutely. Haven't fooled our cameraman yet, though. I don't think.
Well, that's good.
Atkinson, being a senior, he's got a lot of poise out there, and he carries that Elk River team, that offense down the field very nicely.
And so far on the night, 26 yards passing, as they've been able to move the ball well on the ground and in the air.
Good balanced attack, but looking at that last drive, it was more balanced towards the running game, actually. Ooh,
squib kick, and I think one of the Blaine players touched it, so it. They're going to call it out of bounds. So the Bengals will take over at the 35.
Now, I don't know if that was an intentional or not, if they were going to try to catch the Bengal receiving team off guard by an onside kick or not. But either that was a big mistake.
Well, kind of an unusual. I think Blaine may have spotted something in the tapes, because usually they have Eric Allman back deep, and they had A.J. Kelly there. And then they had Tommy Bergeron and losing my train of thought here as far as who the other person were, the up men. And that's something you don't always see from the Bengals. So they'll start 1st and 10 at the 35. The pitch to Cedric Larkins. He picks up where he left off, and he'll pick up 8 or 9 yards. We'll check the spot of the ball, but another nice run. This time he'll take it to the right side. And after the spot, Looks like about an 8-yard pickup for Cedric Larkins.
Cedric Larkins on a quick pitch to the right side. Very quick outside runner. And it's tough for that defense of Elk River to track him down.
Yep, we do have some laundry on the field. And so actually that's with the holding call, I believe that'll be a 2-yard loss for Larkins. And then a 10-yard penalty tacked onto that, first penalty of the game against the Bengals. So holding will move him back to the 23.
Maybe that's why he got to the outside so good.
Apparently so.
Could be one of the reasons.
So first down and 21 for the Bengals. Parsons steps back. He'll tuck it under and run. He's got some room on the far side. He'll pick up the first down, and he'll be pushed out of bounds near midfield. So about a 25-yard run for Ryan Parsons and a Bengal first down.
Ryan Parsons, I tell you, he's one tough kid. He wasn't afraid to run into that cornerback there the last part of that play, and just threw a forearm out there and knocked the defender down.
Yeah, when you've got a couple of nice receivers like Bergeron and Moore, it kind of keeps the defense honest. They can't come up and play the quarterback. This time it'll be Bergeron split to the near side. Kelly and Larkins in the backfield for the Bengals. And Parsons with the fake. He'll go downfield to Steve Moore. And Steve Moore in for the touchdown.
Nice play. Boy, I tell you, I looked at that setup and I thought, boy, it'd be a great time to get one-on-one with Moore and that defender for Elk River. And it did happen. Obviously, Parsons throwing to his favorite receiver, Steve Moore. Great hands by Moore to haul that in and beat the defender into the end zone.
So it's a 52-yard pass play for the touchdown. And that comes with 3:12 left to go here in the first period. And so much for our low-scoring game, as we're not even through the first period. And 3 touchdowns already on the board. Kyle Savakul will be on. And it's up and good. So the Bengals jump on top here, 14-0.
Well, these teams are certainly going up and down the field very nicely. Somebody on the defensive side of the ball is going to have to hold the offense, and I think that's who's going to be the eventual winner here.
Well, the drive goes 65 yards in 3 plays. And Bengals strike back quickly after a long sustained drive the first time through. The nice pass out to Steve Moore, and he just streaks down the sideline and puts the Bengals on the board. That
was a fun play to watch, too. Parsons saw him right away and just delivered right to him. Nice, strong throwing arm.
All right, so once again, it'll be McAlpine and Benson back deep for Elk River. They happened so quickly, I didn't even get to flip over the flip chart. I still have Elk River on offense here, Jim.
Yeah, we're going to have to move quickly here, aren't we? Huh? Keep up with the pace of the game.
Yeah.
There's still 3:12 left in the first quarter.
That's all right. You're the one that gets to burn up the calculator at halftime.
I know. Thanks a lot. Thanks for dragging me up here, pal.
That's all right, Jim. With all the color guys that I get to work with off and on doing radio and working here for Channel 15, you're the only one that keeps stats for me, so I appreciate that. Otherwise, I'm usually doing it myself.
And that can't be any fun. Put those other guys to work, will you?
I don't trust them like I trust you.
Oh,
Here's the kickoff. And McAlpine once again steps 1 foot back into the end zone, but once again, I guess they'll rule that his momentum carried him there, and he'll be brought down hard. And they're making the stop for the Bengals is Brian Hansen.
Special teams for Blaine is working out pretty good. They're containing the kickoff returner and keeping the Elk River Elks pinned deep in their own zone here.
Yeah, the best field position they got came when the ball went out of bounds. This will be their worst, starting at their own 17. The handoff up the middle and diving forward, I believe, was Jager, and it is. So Jager will pick up about 3 yards out to the 20-yard line. 2nd down and 7 now for Elk River.
This is a big defensive series for Blaine Bengals. I think they want to go out there and make a statement to stop this Elk River offense here. And, obviously Elk River is looking to put another touchdown on board.
Man in motion was McAlpine to the near side. They'll flip it out to him down the sideline, and he'll be pushed out of bounds by Brennan Warner, but not until he picks up 15 yards and an Elk River first down.
Well, they're certainly not letting back on the passing game here. Perfect pass. He was pretty wide open.
So 1st and 10 at the 35. Split to the near side is Kyle Olson, the tight end. It'll be Benson split to the far side for the Elks. Swing pass out over the middle to LaPointe. LaPointe still on his feet, and he'll pick up 12 yards and another Elk River first down.
Well, the yards just keep coming for Elk River.
Yeah, nice screen pass right over the middle. I guess you can't really call it a screen, but a quick pass over the middle, and the quick hit to Aaron LaPointe picks up the first down. They'll fake the handoff to LaPointe. Here's Atkinson, and he'll leave it for Donald Jager out of the backfield. Jager out to the 40, and he will pick up 13 yards on that play, and another Elk River first down. They have 8 already here, and we're still in the first quarter.
I can't keep up. I'm winded putting the stats on the board here, Dave.
1st and 10.
Can I watch the game?
Yeah, and they don't spend much time in the huddle either. So Elk River likes to move quickly, and here's LaPointe. This time he'll be wrapped up and stacked up. No gain on the play for LaPointe as the front line of the Bengals defense comes up and makes the stop. Coming in to make the play, Derek Kelly.
I think right now those running plays and the passing plays that Elk River is putting together now is a very balanced attack, and it's keeping Blaine off guard.
Olson split to the near side. LaPointe goes in motion just before the snap. They fake the handoff to Jager, and Atkinson's going to be wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage. And Tony Kunza coming up to make the stop, and looks like no gain on the play as Atkinson tried to roll to his or bootleg to his left, and nothing doing for Elk River. So they'll have 2 men split to the near side now. Single setback. Atkinson drops back to pass. He'll roll to the near side, and he will hit over the middle, and that's Corey Almer in the game, and he'll be down at the 25-yard line, a pickup of 15 and another Elk River first down.
Nice headsy play by Atkinson, picking out his receiver in the middle of the field after a great block from his running back to spring him free so he could make that pass.
And there you saw Corey Almer making the stop or making the catch and picking up a few yards after the catch. This time it'll be Jager diving ahead. Give him a gain of 4 on that play. 2nd down and 6 now. Time just about to expire here in the first quarter. See if Elk River gets another playoff. They may. 16 seconds. Oh yeah, plenty of time.
Mm-hmm.
1 man split to the near side. In motion goes LaPointe. They fake the handoff. Actually, they will give to LaPointe. And he'll be down to about the 20-yard line. Give him a gain of about a yard on the play. And that will be the end of the first quarter with the score. Blaine 14 and Elk River 7. And I'm going to look at the half moon in the skies tonight. Well, you can still see the moon. Apparently, the weather is still decent out there, so apparently no heavy clouds moving in anyway.
Oh, it's very comfortable. Very comfortable. It's a nice night to watch a good ball game like this one is right now. It's turning out to be. Obviously, offensive dominated. Not a lot of defense showing up here, and I tell you what, Luke Atkinson for Elk River is certainly a great quarterback right now. He's a senior and carrying this offense of Elk River to Blaine. And then on the other side, you got Ryan Parsons, a junior quarterback, looking very good too.
Yeah, both these quarterbacks are doing a great job directing the field, the teams down the field, and so far there's only been 1 possession in the game that hasn't resulted in a touchdown. And that was the opening drive by the Elks when they went away from what would normally be their game plan, and went with 3 quick runs and had to punt the ball away.
Yeah. Surprisingly, they've got 13 rushes here, Elk River does, versus 6 passes. So
here's Atkinson over the middle, nearly picked off in and out of the hands of Colin Olson. And Olson had a gift there as he just let it slip through his fingers, and it'll be fall incomplete for Atkinson.
Yeah, I think that was tipped at the line of scrimmage and nearly intercepted. It would have been a huge play for the defense for Blaine.
Well, Kyle Danner will be on to attempt the field goal. This will be a 37-yarder. And we finally have all the personnel on the field. And it's a low line drive kick, wide, and the field goal attempt is no good, and Blaine will maintain their 14-7 lead as Danner looked like he might have gotten a little bit over the top of that one. It was a line drive, and it went off to the left. And there you see Paul Gustafson talking things over with Jeremy LeClaire, who was late getting on the field, just reminding him that he's on special teams and needs to be out there when when those field goals get kicked. So the Bengals will take over at their 20. As we're just underway here in the second quarter, so the Bengals dodged the bullet this time. And Parsons still has it after a couple of fakes. He's out to the 25, so a gain of 5 yards for Ryan Parsons as he faked once to Larkins, faked another time to Williams, and held onto it himself and pushed the ball ahead for a 5-yard pickup.
Yeah, it's more or less like the triple option, and he bounced off the pile, came out to the left side, and picked up about 5 yards.
So 2nd down and 5 now for the Bengals. It'll be Bergeron split to the near side. Split backs in the backfield, Kelly and Larkins. In motion. Actually, they'll shift. Topif will shift to the near side with Larkins, and Patrick Williams will be the running back as he takes the handoff, and he'll be brought down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play for Patrick Williams.
Both defenses now are for Blaine and Elk River are starting to stiffen up a little bit. They're starting to read the plays a little bit better and stopping them at the line of scrimmage. So could become a defensive battle now. It could still be a low-scoring game, Dave.
You never know if both defenses step it up here. Well, 3rd down and 5 for the Bengals as they'll split Bergeron to the far side. Parsons on the bootleg, looking for some blockers. He spins and moves, and he will have enough for a 1st down. Give him 7 yards on that play, and another Bengal 1st down, their 6th here in the first half.
Good job by Parsons. If he keeps doing this, he's going to have over 100 yards rushing in this game. He's almost up to 50 right now, and I think the coaches tell him, hey, if you got that room to run, go ahead and take it.
So nice spin move there for Ryan Parsons as he's able to elude the Elk River defense. And now we'll split Bergeron to the near side, more to the far side. 1st and 10 from the 33. Larkins goes in motion. Here's the handoff to Kelly. He's got some room, and he's out near midfield before he's finally brought down at the 50-yard line. Give him a gain of 18 on that play. And a Bengal 1st down right at the midfield stripe.
Excellent blocking by the offensive line of Blaine to open that hole for A.J. Kelly to spring free for those 18 yards.
So the Bengals on the move now at midfield. 9:48 left to go here in the first half. Larkins in motion. Here's the handoff to Williams. He's got a hole, and he'll finally be brought down by Mitch Eversman, the linebacker for Elk River, but not until he picks up 7 yards on the play, and he'll bring up a 2nd down and 3.
It's nice to have the luxury, Dave, of having 3 running backs that you alluded to earlier in the show here. Running back by committee, but you've got 3 decent balanced running backs going at him right now.
And there, as you mentioned, there is an advantage to that because nobody can key on just one guy.
Exactly. You don't know where it's going to go to.
Well, this time will be Bergeron split to the far side. Larkins goes in motion. The pitch, fake the pitch out to Williams downfield for Bergeron. A little bit too long. About 3 yards too deep for Tommy Bergeron. He kind of slowed down a little bit, looking over his shoulder, trying to find that one.
Yeah, Parsons kind of hung it in there a little bit high, but you can see this just 5 yards too far. Boy, Parsons has an arm on him. Nice quick pitch fake there to set that play up too. He had his man. Bergeron has man beat.
So 3rd down and 3 now for the Bengals. Bergeron will be split to the far side. The handoff to Larkins as he comes in motion. It's going to be close to the 1st down, but not quite. They'll stack him up about a yard short. They're going to say a fumble on the play, but it looked like he was down, and I think that's what the officials say. He was trying to reach forward after he went down, trying to pick up that extra yard as Everson brought him down. And after the pickup of about 3 yards on the play, it'll be a 4th down and 1.
I would think that the Bengals are going to go for it here.
It appears that way. Parsons still on the field. And we'll see if the Bengals go for the quarterback sneak. As remember, we mentioned in the pregame show, the Bengals line a little bit bigger. Nope, they'll swing it out to the outside. Larkins has some room, and the hole closes quickly as he's down to the 45. A gain of 6 yards on the play and a Bengal 1st down.
Nice hard running by Cedric Larkins right there to make that happen. As you can see, he took the pitch and then he cut it back real quick there and got the necessary yards for that 1st down. He knew where the markers were.
And Aaron LaPointe able to get a hand on him along with Daniel Peterman to bring him down. But not until he picked up the 1st down for the Bengals. 1st and 10 at the 35. They'll shift Hope to the far side. Williams comes set in the slot. The handoff up the middle to Kelly. He's got a nice hole, and he'll pick up about 8 yards on the play. A.J. Kelly with a nice gain, and good to see Kelly taking advantage of his holes there and picking up the nice gain.
Nice blocking. He kind of felt his way through the line of scrimmage there and then accelerated to pick up that necessary yards for that 8-yard gain. Right now, Blaine being very deliberate, just taking enough time off the clock here to run each play, taking their time.
And at the same time, keeping Elk River offense off the field. Split backs in the backfield are Williams and Kelly. Hand off to Williams on the inside reverse. It'll be Larkins, and Elk River ain't buying that one.
No, they've seen that one before, and they got in there. The linebackers came in there on that and stopped Larkins probably for a 1-yard loss. Yeah,
that was Aaron LaPointe busting through the line, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and 3 situation now for Blaine. This time will be Bergeron coming to the near side. Lone setback is Kelly. In motion, Williams, the handoff. Nope, here's the pitch to Williams on the option, and Elk River does a nice job stringing that one out. He'll be brought down. Looks like he's going to be shy of the 1st down. Give him a gain of a couple on the play. And we'll take another look.
I think they got a horrible spot on that one.
I tend to agree.
Jeez, now right there he's down close to the 25-yard line.
Well, apparently they must have ruled that he went down before he rolled over the tackler there.
Evidently, yeah, but it's where the ball is when his knee goes down.
Yep. So 4th and 1. The pitch to Williams. He's got some room. They're stringing him out. He does have the 1st down, and then some, as he's down near the 15-yard line. Give him a gain of about 11 yards. We'll check where they spot the ball, but he will definitely have the 1st down. I was a little bit worried because, Jim, it looked like he was picking a hole to try to get the big gain rather than looking to just pick up the 1 or 2 and get that 1st down.
I think he was getting a little greedy there, wasn't he? But that's good. Great run back.
Yeah, he did get the 11 yards, and there you see the tail end of the play. But, picking up the 1st down in the process.
Well, I think once he gets in the open field, I mean, he likes to get out there and run. So he was let loose there, and he was going.
So 1st and 10 at the 15. And this time Kelly's going to be wrapped up. We'll lose a couple on that one. And LaPointe once again, along with Peterman, coming in to make the stop. Little help along with Mitch Eversman. And on the loss, the linebackers really getting the job done for Elk River on that play.
Yeah, they are. The linebackers are keeping the certain plays in check, but Blaine comes at him with 3 different running backs. You never know who's going to get the ball. Now you see 2 of the running backs going out now. Look for a pass.
Well, Allman and Bergeron split to the far side. Rutgers and Moore to the near side. Patrick Williams is the only setback. Shotgun, Parsons with the draw. He's got some room, and he'll be down near the 10-yard line. So he'll get some of that loss back, give him a gain of 6 on the play. And he'll be brought down at the 11. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 5 situation now.
I think that was a good call. They spread the defense out, and Parsons, being a big kid, can run the ball well, obviously. And it was a nice quarterback draw.
So actually 3rd down and 6 as they spotted on the 11. And there you see some ice. And we're not sure who that player is for Elk River, but being tended to on the sideline.
It looks like a major bruise.
In motion goes Larkins. Back to pass is Parsons. He scrambles. He looks, and he's got Steve Moore for the touchdown.
I tell you what, that is a pretty headsy play for a junior quarterback to pick that out. And Moore comes out of nowhere. That was definitely a broken pattern. And he saw Parsons in trouble and decided nobody was on him to go to his left. Nice play.
Well, the 11-yard pass play to Steve Moore completes the 80-yard drive. Kyle Savacool on to try the extra point and see if he can make this a 21-7 2-touchdown Bengal lead. Kicks up and no good. He missed to the near side. It looked pretty good from this angle, Jim, but the officials are the guys that can see what's going on down there.
Yeah, it always looks good. It's good from this side because I don't know, it's an optical delusion here. It always seems like it splits the upright here, but I tell you what a great drive by Blaine. I mean, they were in trouble a couple of times. They were thrown for losses a couple of times, but they just kept coming back. They took a couple 4th down risks and made the 1st down, and then they put it in the end zone on a nice play. Nice poise by the quarterback Parsons, and a nice play by Moore to get open.
Yeah, that drive goes 80 yards, 14 plays for the Bengals, and I think most importantly of all, Jim, on that is the fact that they used a lot of clock on the drive in the process.
Yeah, they did. You'll see this play here develop. Parsons sees Moore in the end zone wide open. I don't know how he got that open. I think what happened, Moore was running a pattern to the right side, and Parsons did look to the right side, but he was all bottled up, and then he broke through on the left side, and Parsons picked him up.
And I'm sure some of the linebackers for Elk River smelled a little blood in the backfield there, and were heading in to try to help out with the sack, and that left Moore a little bit open. So here's Savacool on to kick it off. Nice high kick, and the ball is loose. Bengals may have come away with this one. And we'll see who comes out of the bottom of the pile with the football. And Bengal football.
Well, you know, on an onside kick, it only has to go 10 yards. On any kick, it only has to go 10 yards. Now, did it touch the Elk River player? I don't think it did.
But it doesn't matter. It's a live football.
Exactly.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. And I think that's what Elk River was playing. He thought it might have been a dead ball or what he was thinking there. He didn't even go back after it. Good hustle by number 23 for the Bengals. That it was
Brennan Warner.
All over that one. Good job. Good hustle. I tell you what, the special teams for Blaine is doing an excellent job, and you know, that's what a coach likes to see, is the hustle like that to pick up a loose ball.
Well, I saw Warner on the field before the game. I asked him if the defense was going to get 3 or 4 turnovers tonight, and he said more than that. So he was confident coming in tonight.
There you go. Nothing but positive
Here's
thoughts.
the reverse. Bergeron. It's got some room. Down near the goal line, he'll be stopped at about the 2. Give him a 15-yard gain, and the Bengals will have it 1st and goal at the 2. There's a little razzle-dazzle there for the Bengals, and the reverse works to perfection.
they're throwing everything at him now. They had that, the pursuit is so heavy with Elk River that they slowed him down with that reverse and worked very well. A 12-yard gain?
Yes, indeed. And touchdown Bengals. And we'll see who comes out of the bottom of the pile with the football. That's Patrick Williams on the 1-yard touchdown run.
Nothing real fancy. Williams waiting for his blockers to open the hole, and he just crashes through.
So 17-yard drive. Actually, that would have been a 15-yard pickup, I'm sorry, on that last play by Bergeron. As they were at the 17. 2 plays. And Elk River's going to call a timeout and regroup here as they give up 12 points here in less than a minute's time.
Yeah, I think Elk River is stunned right now. This game started out 7-7, and then it was 14-7. Now it's 26-7. So
come out in that power eye business. Linebackers, get your noses up on the line right
they're
here.
really
Get up there. We're defending the goal line on this right here. I am calling base slice. Base slice. You guys attack. Watch for the quick pitch out of the heavy slot and anything to the outside. Read your key and go. Safeties, get your butt up there. Corners, be bumping that guy right there. Here we go.
Let's go.
Base slice. Base slice. Come on, D. Let's make a play. 1, 2, 3. Defense.
Come on, let's go, D.
So I guess it's going to be a base slice there, Jim.
I think it's going to be a base slice. I thought you knew what that meant, Dave. I thought you were going to make a comment on the base slice here.
No, apparently they ran a little bit different system at the high school I went to. So, but nice look into the Elk River huddle there on the timeout, and Bengals will go for 2 to try to make up for that missed extra point of just a moment ago.
Well, I think you heard him talk about the corners coming up and bumping. I think that's what they want them to do. Their corners are not coming up and bumping. They're letting the running backs run all over them.
And here's A.J. Kelly. And it's good. It took a moment, but Kelly with the 2-point conversion. And it's 28-7 for the Bengals.
Well, the points just keep adding up here for Blaine. Just nothing real fancy there, just up the middle. Blasted over for a 2-point conversion. Want to make up for that extra point. So, well, Elk River has got 3:21 left. There's 3:21 left in this half. They're down by 3 touchdowns. I think now they will probably have to go to their passing game more often.
Yeah, this is going to be a huge drive for the Elks. They've got to get something on the board before they go to halftime, try to get a little momentum back, because the wheels have just come off here in the second half. At the end of the first quarter, it was a 1-touchdown game, and now all of a sudden they're down by 3 scores. And it's going to be a long uphill battle for the Elks here. As the Bengals, I think, for the first time this season, really have just come out and blown somebody out in the first half here.
Well, this is definitely total domination right now by the Bengal offense. Their defense was questionable in that first quarter, but they've rose to the occasion now. The turnovers have killed Elk River. I mean, the special teams for Blaine have been outstanding, and those will win ball games for you. And they'll put points on the board real fast, too.
Well, here we go with the Kyle Savacool kickoff. It's a short one, and gets by Benson. He'll have to stop and pick it up. And apparently his knee must have gone down before the Bengals players got there, because the whistle was blowing before he was hit. And the momentum of the Bengals tacklers carried them into Benson, so he got buried anyway. But it'll be 1st and 10 at the 17 for the Elks.
Well, I tell you, on these kickoffs, it doesn't even look like there's any blocking on the front line of Elk River. It's the white jerseys are just pouring into the running back.
Well, the Elks will shift, and they will run. believe that was Jaeger on the carry. Yep, and he'll pick up about 2 yards on the play.
Well, they're going to still try to keep and establish something on the ground. But sooner or later, I mean, they got the wind on his back right now. He can really air it out. But when you have to rely on the passing game totally, that can haunt you too.
And we'll have a whistle and flags. Didn't seem long enough for delay of game.
Lined up in the neutral zone, maybe?
Yeah. Yep, that's the call. So 2 penalties for 15 yards on the Bengals. 1 penalty for 15 on Elk River, and that was a big one. That was that pass interference call.
Yeah, yep.
So 2nd down now and 3 to go. As Benson will come off. They'll line up Mitch Everson to the near side. And here's Atkinson. He'll dump it off to Jaeger, and Jaeger's brought down out across the 30-yard line. Steve Moore there to make the stop. It'll be enough for a 1st down. And give him a gain of 9 yards on the play.
It was a nice safe pass that Atkinson threw to Jaeger. They don't want to get a turnover down here again, and they're just being a little conservative in their own end.
And a running play up the gut as popping through the other side of the line was LaPointe. He'll get 2 on the play. 2nd down and 8 now.
Well, I think they're still going to try to mix it up. The run, pass, so I don't think they're getting away from their game plan right now.
2nd down and 8. Man in motion in the near side's LaPointe. He'll take the handoff. And he's got some room on the sideline. He'll squirt through along the sideline out to the 43. Gain of about 6 on the play. We'll bring up a 4th down and short now. Check that, make that a 3rd down and short. So 3rd and 1. As they'll get the ball set. Elk River wastes almost no time in the huddle.
No, they don't. They are wasting a few minutes here, though, trying to figure out a play.
Now, I thought they were breaking the huddle, but apparently
No,
they just came to the near sideline. So, yeah, Danny Kohler will bring the play in as Benson will come off. So it'll be Kohler split to the far side.
They're going to get a delay of game.
They do get the snap off in time. Atkinson rolls to his right, and he will hit Jaeger once again. But it will be enough for a 1st down. He'll pick up about 3 yards on the play. And the 12th 1st down of the night for Elk River.
Well, it's not that Elk River is not moving the ball. It's that the fact that Blaine has had the ball for probably 70% of the time in this 1st half.
Yeah, we don't have a time of possession for you, but it's definitely been in favor of the Bengals down to 1:35 now. 3 men split to the near side. Atkinson throws across the middle for LaPointe, and in and out of his hands, incomplete. 2nd down and 10.
Well, looking for the middle. I think they're trying to set something up deep here. They've got the wind at their backs, and it's funny they haven't gone long or deep on these on the Bengal corners.
Benson will split to the near side. Back to pass is Atkinson, and he will hit Corey Ulmer. And Ulmer with a gain of about 7 on the play. And they'll go with the hurry up. 3rd down and 3 now. And Blaine will take a timeout so they can regroup. They've got 3 to burn, so might as well use one here to get themselves set as Elk River came to the line in a hurry and had the Bengals defense kind of on their heels a little bit.
Well, yeah, and you know, like we've said before, they break the huddle real quick and they get up to the line of scrimmage. That's a good way to do it. I mean, if they've got they got a good passing game, they run several different formations and several different passing formations. And Luke Atkinson, like I said, his longest pass tonight has been 15 yards. So, and that was early in the 1st quarter. I would suspect that they're going to try to air it out now. They're not in as much trouble if they did have a turnover going downfield right now. So I would see them airing it out.
Yeah, as you did mention, Jim, they haven't even made an attempt going down the field. All of the passes have been short, 5 to 10 yards across the middle for the most part.
Yeah, very possessive type passes. They don't want to make a mistake, because I tell you what, Blaine has capitalized on three of the mistakes they've had now and put points on the board every time.
All right, they'll line it up. Split to the far side will be Almer and Kohler. In the slot is LaPointe. Lone setback is Jaeger. Benson split to the near side. And here's Jaeger. He's got all kinds of room. And he's in for the touchdown. So a 46-yard touchdown run for Donald Jaeger.
Well, that's the case of Blaine suspecting pass. And it was just a quick explosion, might I say. Delayed step and up through the middle. You could see that Blaine was playing the pass all the way. Steve Moore was defending the receiver out there. And
yeah, I'm not sure he saw that Jaeger had the ball.
Jaeger blew right by him.
Yep. And the extra point up and good by Danner. And so Elk River cuts the lead now to 14 points.
You see the side step here. Boom, he hits the line. Look at Moore out here. He doesn't even see him until it's too late. And he's in for the score. Nice call.
So they go trying to get a look as I believe 5 plays on the drive. And they go 83 yards on those 5 plays. And Bengals lead cut now to 14 points, and they still have some time to work with a minute 1 left to go here.
Oh yeah, that they might have scored too soon. Yeah, a minute 8 on the clock. That play took 7 seconds.
So what you're saying is Jaeger can run a 7-second 50 then, huh?
There you go. Exactly.
Well, the wind will blow the ball off the tee. Well, back deep will be Kelly. Larkins. And I believe that's Bergeron on the near side of the short men. That is Tommy Bergeron. Larkins was the gentleman that I couldn't think of earlier on the last kickoff. And Kelly will let this one sail into the end zone. Bengals will take it over 1st and 10 with a minute 1 to work with here at the 20-yard line.
Well, that's just what the Elk River Elks needed, was to put a touchdown on the board right now to get back in this game, cut the lead in half, and get a little momentum going in your way. I mean, they were really flat. Those turnovers will kill you, and they'll get your head dragging a little bit, but now they've sucked it up here and had a couple nice drives and put a quick touchdown on the board.
Well, Adam Rutgers will split to the near side. It'll be Moore and Bergeron to the far side. Larkins in the slot. Lone setback is Kelly. He'll take the handoff. He's got all kinds of room up the middle. And he'll finally be brought down out across the 35 to the 36. Give him a 16-yard pickup and a Bengal first down.
Nice job for A.J. Kelly picking his way through the linebackers. I think they were playing a little zone deep there. And he had a lot of running room in the middle there.
Same players in the same positions for the Bengals. Hand off up the middle this time. Kelly won't have near the success as he'll pick up a couple and bring up a 2nd down and 8. Once again, Rutgers split to the near side. Moore and Bergeron to the far side.
I think they're just going to run it out right here.
23 seconds on the clock. Well, Parsons will tuck it under and run, and that's probably the last play of the first half. As the clock will run down under 10 seconds. Teams will make their ways to the locker rooms, and at the end of one half of play, it's the Blaine Bengals 28, the Elk River Elks 14. We'll take a timeout, and when we come back, we'll get you up to date with all the stats and information from the first half and get things set for the second half of play right after this.
outside and bugs got on it. Gnats. They're just fly around and get on people's food. Then we killed all the bugs and then it was gone before we knowed it.
There is a better way to have fun with history.
Teddy, you're not even trying.
Visit americaslibrary.gov. Log on, play around, learn something.
Thousands of kids in this country have everything it takes to go to college, except the money. The United Negro College Fund. A mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Be cool about fire safety. Bet you don't know about the most important thing is where most fires start. It's right in your kitchen. Don't cook on stove tops. Let your parents do that. You can set that pan on fire full of grease and fat. Hey. If a kitchen fire starts, don't go running around. Get out of that house. Get on to safe ground. Let's go over some important safety tips so you and your parents know how to be cool about fire safety. Gotta be cool. First, only parents should be cooking on the stove, and they should never leave what they're cooking unattended to. Second, make sure your parents know to never leave the handle of a frying pan or a pot sticking out like this. Now look at this. Pot holders, dish towels, paper towels, and especially clothing. They should all be kept away from the burners so they don't catch fire. Gotta be cool. Be cool about fire safety.
We are back at Elk River High School. Dave Washburn along with Jim Kappelhoff, and just coming out of halftime. Both teams a little bit late coming out of the locker room. They've got quite the hike to get over to the locker rooms and get back to the field here. So even after the 20-minute break, they throw another 2 or 3 minutes up on the clock to give the teams a chance to warm up here. But Jim, an impressive half, especially on the Blaine side, is they've got a pretty balanced attack rushing-wise. Ryan Parsons with 46 yards, and A.J. Kelly having a great night as well.
Yeah, they are. They're both splitting good time carrying the ball. And but the thing is that, you know, you look at this statistics, and it shows that you've got, 6 ball carriers here, and they had 28 rushing attempts for 164 yards. They're coming at you in every different angle. Tommy Bergeron had a 15-yard gain on the end around. That was his only carry, but still, they kept it on the ground, and that was their that's what they wanted to do. So they had 28 attempts for 164 yards, a 15.8 rushing average. No fumbles for Blaine. Passing completions, they were 3 for 5 in the passing, 2 TDs for Mr. Parsons, and 77 yards. No interceptions. Total yards of 241 yards. Penalties, there was 2 penalties against the Bengals for 15 yards. So that gives them a net yardage of 226. They had 10 first downs, so they were moving the ball very well.
And then for the Elk River side, Donald Yeager having a great night, all-purpose yardage-wise, well over 100 yards.
Absolutely, yes. And he is the go-to man, both running and receiving. He had 61 yards rushing, and he had 53 yards in receiving. Going through the Elk River stats here, we had Elk River had 16 rushing attempts for 123 yards, a 7.7 average. That was almost as good as Blaine, but not quite. And surprising that they kept it on the ground that much. They had 1 fumble, and they had the passing 8 for 13 for 100 yards, no interceptions, 223 total yards, 1 penalty for 15 yards, gave them a net of 208 yards. So the net yardage is very close. And first downs give the edge to the Elks. They had 12 first downs, so they moved the ball well also.
Yeah, so the one turnover, a big key, of course, that led to the touchdown run by Patrick Williams. And the final score of the half for the Bengals as that so far was one of the big keys of this game. Right after the Bengals had gone down the field and scored, they give it up on the kickoff, and that really sent the momentum the way of the Bengals.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was I think this whole crowd here on the Elk River side was just stunned by the fact that they had put 28 points on the board to 7. And it was a tight ball game in the first half of the first quarter, and then it just got slipped away, and Elk Rivers turned around looking at each other and going, what happened here? However, they did regain their composure, came back, and with a little more than a minute left in the second quarter, put a nice drive together and capped it with a touchdown run by Donald Yeager for 46 yards. So they are right back in the ball game. I'm sure Coach Gustafson indicated that to him in the locker room, saying, hey, guys, let's go. We can score 14 more points and tie this game up.
All right, it will be the Elk River Elks kicking away to the Bengals. A.J. Kelly back deep once again, along with Cedric Larkins and Tommy Bergeron flanking him. Kyle Danner will be on to do the kicking duties for the Elks, as they trail by 2 touchdowns as we start the second half of play. Scoring, by the way, the Bengals got on the board first with a 3-yard touchdown run by Patrick Williams. Elk River came right back and tied it up with a 3-yard touchdown run by Luke Atkinson. We'll give you that as we get set to go here. Larkins loses the ball, but he will pick it up at about the 15. He's still on his feet, and finally brought down out across the 30. It looks like they'll position him at about the 31-yard line, but to continue the scoring, 52-yard pass play to Stephen Moore from Ryan Parsons gave the Bengals a 14-7 lead, and then they were able to take a 20-7 lead on the 11-yard pass play to Steve Moore. After the fumble on the kickoff, a 1-yard touchdown run by Pat Williams made it a 28-7 game, and then Elk River able to answer back right at the end of the first half on the run by Donald Yeager. Here we'll have a handoff up the gut, and the entire defense for Elk River will stack up on top of A.J. Kelly. He'll lose a couple yards.
Yeah, they didn't fool anybody on that run. I think what Blaine wants to come out to do like they did in the first half is come out here and control the football, get a controlled drive, take 4 or 5 minutes off that clock and grind it down. Keep it out of the high-powered offense of the Elks.
Adam Rutgers will split to the near side. Bergeron to the far side for the Bengals. Back to pass is Parsons. He'll tuck it under and run, and he'll be out near the 35. Let's give him the 34. And a gain of 4 yards on the play. As Everson there along with Ryan McGee make the stop.
And we saw that play run for a inside the 10-yard line or 20-yard line when they were pressing against the for their third touchdown, that quarterback draw. It worked very well.
4 wideouts now for the Bengals. Parsons in the shotgun. Lone setback is Patrick Williams. Parsons looking, chased out of the pocket. He'll tuck it under and run, and he'll pick up the first down as he's out across the 40-yard line. Give him a gain of 8 yards on that play, and the Bengals first down.
What a great weapon Ryan Parsons is, though. I mean, he can throw the ball well. He can throw the ball well. He throws the ball real well, running out of the pocket and rolling out. And to have him, in the first half pick up 48 yards, that's just another threat that Elk River has to deal with.
And now the Bengals are going to line Cedric Larkins up as a wideout from the 43, 1st and 10. And fumble on the handoff. Looks like Parsons was able to get back and cover up the ball. Elk River, of course, as per usual, will signal that they have it, but Parsons, I believe, will come out of the bottom of the pile, and it will be a second down. And that is indeed the case, so give Ryan Parsons a loss of about 3 yards on the play. Officials will call a timeout to get the ball reset, and now we're set to go again.
Yeah, that would have been a big, huge turnover for Elk River if they would have recovered that fumble. Big mistake by Blaine. Not something you want to do, in your own end of the field. So we dodged the bullet there.
Yeah, he and Williams had a little bit of confusion there on the handoff. Now they'll send Larkins in motion to the far side. The handoff to Williams. This time they complete the connection, and he's out near midfield. And Patrick Williams will pick up 9 yards and make this a makeable third down situation.
Yeah, it was a good running play. They kept it on the ground, didn't panic. They were in a second and 13, 14-yard situation, and they handed it off to Williams, who is a very quick hitter in the hole and can turn it upfield fast.
So 3rd down and 4 now for the Bengals. The ball at the 49-yard line. It'll be Bergeron split to the far side. Williams and Kelly in the backfield for the Bengals. The pitch out to Williams. And boy, it's going to be close. It looks like if the official that just ran in to mark the ball has the spot, then it should be enough for a first down.
Well, we've got a pretty good break right here, Dave, because it's right in front of us.
Yes.
We can't blow this call, can we? I think it's a first down.
Hey, well, especially after they give the signal. But so 4-yard pickup for Williams, and he gets the first down inside Elk River territory. They'll split up with set up with Larkins and Kelly in the backfield to give to Larkins. And he will get nothing, lose a few yards on the play, as once again the linebackers for Elk River break through. LaPointe in on the stop, as well as Andrew Cook coming in, number 91, to make a nice stop as well.
Well, you can see the intent right now of what the Bengals offensive coordinators are doing. They're keeping the ball on the ground and in control right now.
So 2nd down and 12 now. Lone setback is Kelly. Parsons will be sacked. No room to run, nowhere to hide as Aaron LaPointe comes through. He'll lose another 7. Be pushed back all the way to the 45-yard line. And now it will be a 3rd down and forever. Make it about 18 for the Bengals.
Boy, did LaPointe crash through. I think he came untouched and read that play beautifully. And Parsons had no chance at all to get away from that.
Shannon Garrity can't be too happy with that as he stands stoically on the sideline. So 3rd down and 18. They'll split Bergeron and Moore to the near side. Rutgers and Larkins to the far side. Parsons out of the shotgun. More pressure from LaPointe. He's chased, creates some time, creates some space, and he's tripped up and barely getting a hand. Let's see if we can get a look at the number for Elk River. He'll gain about 5 yards on the play. Now check that, give him a gain of about 2. And nice stop there. Ken Quam was in on the action, along with David Furlong and Aaron Schmidt as well.
Well, I think Parsons ran about 100 yards in a circle there on that play. He was running for his life.
So 4th and about 16. Here is Moore on to punt it away. His first punt of the night. They'll get a halfway decent roll. It'll be 1st and 10 right at the 30-yard line for Elk River to start the second half.
Well, good job by Elk River. The only problem is that Blaine took about 8.5 minutes off the clock on that possession. So Elk River is going to have to get cooking here and probably start looking at getting the ball downfield for a score.
Well, they will split Danny Kohler to the near side. Back to pass is Atkinson. And he hits Kohler across midfield and into Bengal territory. A 20, check the spot of the ball, 23, 24-yard pickup. Looks like 24. and an Elk River first down.
Nice job. Nice arm. Roll out by Atkinson. We roll out of the pocket. Threw the ball. And it was good coverage by Blaine, but Yeager caught that?
No, that was Kohler.
Kohler.
Yep.
Caught that, yes. Pulled it away from the Blaine defender.
And here's LaPointe. He's hit hard at the line of scrimmage. It looked like Brendan Warner in there. Nope, that's Steve Moore, number 13, coming in to make the stop. Colin Olson there as well. He'll pick up a couple as he's across the 45. Second down and 8 situation as the clock continues to run under 6 minutes to play here in the third quarter. There's still plenty of time in this game for Elk River. They're only down by 2 scores. Now it'll be Benson split to the near side. The give to Yeager. No, check that. The fake to Yeager, and they'll flip it out to Kyle Olson. And he'll be close to a first down. He's going to be stopped a little bit shy. So give him a gain of 7 on that play.
Nice job by Luke Atkinson rolling to his right and seeing Kyle Olson open. He was pretty well open too, and hauled that pass in for a nice gain, 7 yards.
Well, the PA announcer says third down and a long one. Looks like 2 to me,
okay.
But
let's say an 8-yard gain.
Yep.
I don't want to short him anything here, which is fine.
One man split to the near side. They'll give it up the middle. It's going to be close. And judging from my viewpoint, it looks like he might have enough.
Oh.
Boy, yeah, after that spot, I don't know. Yeah.
You want to bet on that one?
Yeah,
Dave?
I don't know. I think they're gonna have to bring the sticks over because, yeah, it looked like he had enough, but after the spot of the football, let's just say it wasn't generous for Elk River here.
I don't think he has it. They said fourth down. They're not even going to measure.
Not even going to measure it, so he will be stopped just shy. So 1 yard pickup. Nope. Now they are going to bring the sticks over. So.
Okay. I think the Coach Gustafson wants that measurement.
Well, at least just to know.
Oh my gosh.
About a foot. So, but at least now he knows how far they have to go.
Well, yeah, this is a no-brainer. We got to go for it.
Exactly. Now look for the probable quarterback sneak as Atkinson will line up. He's got split backs in the backfield, but probably won't use them. Yep, he'll take it himself, and he's got it. Got a couple on that one, and we'll pick up the first down. 14 now in the game for Elk River.
Well, this is how Elk River needed to start. They needed to start stop the Bengal offense, get the ball over to the offense, and put a good drive together. And now they're in Bengal territory.
Split backs in the backfield, and Benson split to the near side. Here's Atkinson looking downfield. He's got a man, and I believe that's LaPointe. Nope, check that. That will be Corey Ulmer. So Corey Ulmer will pick up about 9 yards on the play. And there you see Ulmer escaping the grasp of, I believe that was Brennan Warner. Finally slipping and falling underneath Stephen Moore. That'll be Benson split to the far side. Lone setback. Fake the handoff to LaPointe. Swing it out to Yeager. He's hit once, hit twice. Still on his feet. And he's finally brought down at about the 15-yard line. Give him a gain of about 10 yards. And another Elk River first down as they are on the move deep into Bengal territory now at the 15.
Elk River had 4 receivers out on that play. And Yeager was wide open on it.
So Kohler will run the play in for the Elks. They're just inside the 15-yard line.
A very nice drive they're putting together right now.
And the rate we're going here, we're only going to have 2 drives here in this third quarter.
I know it. They're really grinding it down.
Down under 3.5 minutes to go.
Actually, both teams are doing a great job. I mean, you only look at one turnover in the first half, and all the passing that they've been doing, and the no fumbles, just one fumble in the game.
And very few penalties. Three total so far, none here in the second half.
Absolutely.
So here's Atkinson. He'll keep it himself. He's down to the 10. Lucas Atkinson will pick up 5 and make it a 2nd down and 5 now for Elk River.
Well, I think from this point on, they would probably keep it on the ground, try to grind it into the end zone.
That'll be LaPointe in the slot, Almer and Yeager in the backfield. They'll swing it out to LaPointe, or was that Yeager? And incomplete as he threw it behind him. I believe that was Yeager, number 39.
Yes.
Yep. I saw the 3 had a hard time seeing the second number. These uniforms, they look good on TV, but they're very difficult to read from the press box.
They really are.
But I guess looking good on TV is the important thing, right?
That's what it's all about, right?
Exactly. Split backs in the backfield for Elk River. 3rd down and 5. Here's Atkinson. He's got time. He's got a man wide open. Touchdown, Elk River.
I don't know, Dave. There might have been some blown coverage on that for that guy to be wide open, and I can't see the number on him again.
I believe that's LaPointe. With the touchdown catch.
Okay.
And on for the extra point will be Kyle Danner. It's up, and it's good. And all of a sudden, we've got a 1 touchdown game. Blaine on top, 21-28.
Here we go, folks. Fasten your seatbelts.
See if we can get another look at this one here.
Nice fake in the middle, play action. Drops back, sees LaPointe wide open, hits him right away. I don't know if there's some blown coverage on that or not, but there was not a Bengal near him.
So the drive goes 70 yards. And Jim will let me know how many plays here. A lot of them, I can tell you that much.
There is. There's quite a few. 9.
9 plays, 70 yards.
That was a tailor-made, draw 'em up on the chalkboard type of drive. Mixing up the run, nice passes. He only had 1 incomplete pass on that, and good solid drive by Elk River.
Well, Danner on to kick it away. A.J. Kelly will be deep, flanked by Larkins and Bergeron. Line drive kick. Kelly takes it on the hop at about the 5. He's out across the 20. He's got some room, and he'll be brought down at the 30-yard line. And a nice stop there by Lucas Strasburg, the offensive tackle. And the Bengals will take over at the 30.
Now we'll see how Blaine attacks this now, and being a 1 touchdown lead now, they would probably like to go down the field and get a score here.
Well, they have the wind in their face for about another 2.5 minutes, then they will have the wind in the 4th quarter. And I think we're going to have a timeout on Elk River. We will. I think a little bit of confusion there on the field.
I don't know if they had enough players on the field. Yeah, here he goes.
Look at
they had some blown.
One of the many volunteers that come and help crew the game. Sorry about that, Jim. Didn't mean to interrupt us. But yeah, that's a little bit of confusion on the Elk River side. Yeah, I was trying to count before they came to the sideline to see how many people they actually had out there. But if there were the right number, they must not have been the right ones.
No,
So
and the referees won't penalize you for 2 less of people on the field.
Exactly.
They'll penalize you for 2 many on the field. So the referees don't care.
But yeah, 10 men will sometimes net you a touchdown, though, so you don't want that either.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. So they did the right thing. They had a good heads-up move by the person that called the timeout.
All right, 2:35 left to go here as we near the end of the third quarter. It'll be Bergeron split to the far side. Kelly and Williams in the backfield for the Bengals. Larkins in the slot. Hand off to Kelly. He'll be stacked up at the line of scrimmage. LaPointe once again there to make the stop. And Aaron LaPointe having a great game on both sides of the football.
Yeah, he is. He's really a tough kid, going both ways in a, in big high school football like this. You got to be in really good shape.
Yeah, not too many kids in the Northwest Suburban Conference you see going both sides of the ball. Now Moore will be split to the far side. Bergeron, speaking of players that play both sides, Steve Moore not only does that but also punts, the same as LaPointe, nearly picked off.
And then I think it was caught.
And then I don't know if he gathered it in or not. Yep, it will be an interception. And Mitch Eversman, or was it a catch?
No, it was
okay.
It was a catch.
Okay, we'll see who came up with the catch.
Do we have a replay?
I believe we may. Eversman nearly picked it off.
It fell out of his hands, and then the intended receiver picked it up again. You'll see this here. Oh, that's the replay.
That's the play before. So,
okay.
But
okay.
Nonetheless, it'll be a completion. Let's give it to Steve Moore. He was over on that side of the field for about a 3-yard gain. And now it looks like the Bengals will have to call timeout as they were slow coming out of the huddle. I think they were so surprised that they were able to maintain possession there. But
they were very fortunate on that play.
So when we come back, it'll be 3rd down and 6. And yeah, that was kind of a crazy play because I saw the ball pop in and out of the hands of Eversman, and then somebody catch it and go down. And for a moment there, I thought Eversman had reeled it back in and made the catch. But
yeah, Eversman had the deflected out of his hands, and then Moore caught the ball, and then he had to make the tackle on Moore.
So that's a double negative for his case. He loses the interception and then has to make the stop at the same time. Yeah, 11.3 on the clock here in the third quarter. So time for one more play at least. This time it'll be more split to the near side. Lone setback will be Kelly. In motion comes Bergeron to the near side. In motion quickly. He'll go out in the pattern with Moore. Parsons tucks it under, and he'll be buried once again. A lot of pressure in the defensive backfield. Peterman there, along with Ken Quam, and that name we've been mentioning all night, Aaron LaPointe. And they're going to have to punt it away after the short gain, or no gain. I guess he picked up about a yard on the play.
Right, yeah. But Elk River defense has really risen to the occasion now, and they're containing Parsons in the pocket. They're not letting him outside.
Here's Moore with the punt. We'll take a Blaine hop, more or less, more of a sideways hop. Brendan Warner will down it for the Bengals. An excellent field position now for the Elk River Elks is down to apparently 32.4, so it must have been a minute 13 when I looked before instead of 11.3. They don't have any dots on this clock, so hard to tell.
No, I think it's 32.4.
Yeah, 32.4 now, because it was there was what I thought was 11.3 left, but it was actually a minute 13.
You thought that was the longest 11.3?
Yeah. Oh. And I think we had a little confusion between LaPointe and Kohlers. They both arrived at the ball at the same time.
That was something else there. Blaine had the 12th man in the field there, and was the Elk River receiver. He tipped the ball.
Yeah, and both players for Elk River, I think, got a little bit confused on the pattern as you see Kohler walking off. And both arrived at the ball at the same time.
Both of them got beyond the defensive backs of Blaine and were open. It was a nice pass. I thought it was going to be caught.
Yeah, looked like the Twins infield against Oakland. You take it. No, you take it. Three men split to the far side for the Elks. The handoff will go up the middle to Yeager. He's got all kinds of room down the sideline across the 30. Steve Moore tries to get him, but he won't. Touchdown, Elk River, and that will be a 58-yard touchdown run.
Well, they surprised Blaine again, thinking on pass, and Yeager pops this one for 58 yards, just like he did with the 46-yard run. That play is working very well for them.
Well, that comes with 17.9 left. The extra point up and good, and we got us a tie ball game.
Well, we got a replay on this one. We'll be able to see this. Left side, Yeager pops through the line, and there's nobody there. And good blocking upfield. Moore had the last chance at him right here and just couldn't wrap around his legs. Nice balance by Yeager. And he's got good speed for a big guy.
Now he'll pick up his second touchdown of the night. That's 4 in the last 2 games now for Don Yeager.
And another rushing touchdown.
He's been doing it all for Elk River tonight. Now, if you folks watched Locker Room Live earlier this week, I told you keep an eye on him. He had a couple of scores against Osseo, and he's really piling it up now tonight for Elk River. Well,
and all of a sudden, this Elk River crowd in front of us has come to life.
Yeah, they were pretty well taken out of it after those 2 quick touchdowns at the end of the first half. And Blaine went up by 3 scores, but they're right back in it. Nice crowd on hand tonight, both sides of the field with the stands packed. Here's the kickoff. It'll go out of play, so the Bengals will take it at the 35, but a lot of folks lined up around the fence at the south end of the field.
Well, this is a classic Northwest Suburban Conference game. These two teams have seen each other many, many times over the years, and it seems like Elk River always has that passing game to contend with when Blaine comes up here or they play down in Blaine. This is a very pivotal game for both teams. You know, you got Blaine and Coon Rapids tied for the division lead in the conference, and you got Elk River right behind both of them. So, you know, a win by Elk River moves them tied with Blaine and Coon Rapids if Coon Rapids loses tonight.
Well, here's the handoff and a nice pickup. I believe that's A.J. Kelly. And it was. A.J.'s going to pick up 11 yards and a first down.
Nice job once he broke through that line of scrimmage. You could see the Elk River defenders trying to grab at that ball, and A.J. just had his arms wrapped around that ball and kept his shoulders going upfield, and they had no chance of getting that ball.
And that'll be the end of the third quarter, and a wild one it was, as Elk River has come back to tie this one up with a couple of quick touchdowns, a 10-yard run by Aaron LaPointe and a 58-yard run by Don Yeager here in the second half have tied this game up at 28 apiece.
Yeah, I would say that the old Mo is with Elk River at this time, Dave, and they carry this into the fourth quarter. They put a stop on Blaine right now. They're looking pretty good.
Well, we'll see how the Bengals can respond to this. Elk River has never had the lead in this game. They came back and tied it up after the Bengals scored the first touchdown of the game, and then it was all Bengals for the most part of the second quarter.
Well, there's no doubt that both of these offenses can put points on the board. What it's going to come down to now is defense and who has, you know, if there's any turnover. This has been a very clean game. One turnover and very few penalties, so it could come down to that.
All right, we're set to go. Bengals have it. 1st and 10 at the 46. Hand off to Kelly. He's got some more room. He'll pick up about another 7 yards. and set up a second down and 3. And see if with a second and relatively short situation, if the Bengals throw the ball here.
On a second and short like that over midfield, I don't know. They've got so many weapons in the backfield. They could have Parsons run an option play out here.
Well, they'll bring Topic to the near side. Williams will move up into the slot. One man split to the far side. Now give it to Kelly once again. He's going to be the workhorse here in the second half, and he's got the first down. Give A.J. Kelly a pickup of 5 yards on that play, and the Bengals will pick up their 14th first down in this game.
Nice straight ahead, just smash mouth football, just run it up the middle and get the necessary yardage and get your first down. A.J. Kelly carrying the load, like you said.
Well, now they'll bring Moore to the near side. Kelly and Williams in the backfield. Now they'll shift. Topic and Williams will come to the near side. So is Larkins and Kelly. The give to Kelly once again. He's got some more room. And A.J. Kelly just getting it done here in the second half as he'll pick up, looks like about another 5. He's just biting it off 5, 6, 7 yards at a pop.
That's one way to settle the defense down too, is to run right at them and pick up these short gains of 4 and 5 yards. Chew the clock up a little bit and just pound it up the middle.
Now will be more split to the far side. Williams and Kelly in the backfield. The give to Kelly once again, or is it Parsons, the second man through? Yeah, I think they faked the give, and Parsons actually took it. He may have enough for a first down. It's going to be close. Nope, after the spot, they'll bring it back, so a 4-yard pickup.
They have not been generous with the spots on either team, so they've been consistent with that.
That is true. There you get the look, and it's actually Ryan Parsons with the ball. He'll be brought down there by David Furlong. So 3rd down and 1. Williams in motion. The handoff to Williams. He'll cut it back. He'll have the first down and a couple to spare. That is providing they give him forward progress.
Yeah, you don't know where they're going to spot it.
Well,
look at that.
A gain of 1 and barely a Bengal first down. Boy, I thought he was well across.
Oh, I did too.
But they got a better view than we do, apparently. So nonetheless, most importantly, it's a first down for the Bengals. So they'll continue to move the sticks and let the clock continue to run. Under 10 minutes to play.
It was almost close to a measurement.
This time they'll split Bergeron to the near side. Kelly again. He's got some room. And a nice job picking his way through the defense is A.J. Kelly. It's like about a 7-yard pickup. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 3.
Yeah, he's carried the load up the field here. No doubt about that. 7 rushes, and he had 5 of them. So the intent is known to Elk River that they're going to keep it on the ground.
I think Kelly has surpassed Parsons in the rushing category for Blaine. Now it'll be Bergeron split to the far side. In motion goes Williams. They'll give to Kelly once again. They'll just follow the big blockers. And he's down inside the 20. And he will gain about 8 yards on that play and move the sticks once again. As I think for the first time in this game, the Bengals have a lead in first downs, 16-15.
Yeah, well, A.J. Kelly is definitely doing the job right here, but that big offensive line now is kind of starting to wear on this Elk River defense.
As the saying goes, speed goes away when you're tired, but size will stay there with you, and that's what the Bengals are taking advantage of right now. The handoff to Kelly, and not much there for him this time, as I think the Elk River defense is going to start keying on A.J. Kelly, which could be to the benefit of the Bengals as now they can start going to some of their other options as Kelly picks up a yard.
Absolutely. They got plenty of fresh legs in there. They got Williams and Larkins in there, and they can definitely go to those guys.
One thing we haven't seen so far in this drive, though, Jim, is the Ryan Parsons scramble.
No, not yet.
After he lost a few yards, and this time it'll be Patrick Williams wrapped up by Aaron LaPointe. And he'll lose a couple on the play.
Well, they didn't fool anybody on that one by handing it off to Williams on their right side. He scored on that play earlier in the game. I think this is definitely 4-down territory unless they want to go with a field goal, which is very likely because they have the wind behind them.
And one of the best field goal kickers in the league. Very consistent, Kyle Savacool. Missed a rare extra point earlier tonight. I know it's happened before, but I can't recall the last time that Kyle's missed one.
Hey, it happens to the Vikings.
Delay of game.
Well, that doesn't help matters in a 3rd down play now. You got to kind of probably call a different play than what you're going to go with that other.
Yeah, definitely 3rd and 16 now.
Versus 3rd and 10.
And now probably the goal is to just get yourself into field goal position now. But you never know. It might be time to toss one down the field.
Well,
Rutgers split out to the far side. Bergeron and Moore to the near side. Parsons with a quick drop. He'll air it out and way out of bounds.
Well, that was, if he was open, throw it in the general area. If he's not, throw it in the bleachers.
Well, one thing we saw against Park Center that we're not seeing tonight, Tommy Bergeron was open, wide open on several plays against Park Center. He's been blanketed pretty well. And it's time for the field goal. This will be a 43-yard attempt for Kyle Savacool. He missed one earlier tonight. And it's good.
Oh.
A 43-yard field goal by Kyle Savacool.
Well, when you got the wind behind you like that, it might have been a different story down at this end if they were that far away, because that wind is a little stiff out there tonight. So take advantage of that wind, and they've got it for the whole 4th quarter and gives them the lead.
So the Bengals up 31-28, and they burned over 5 minutes on that drive. So even without getting the touchdown, they kept the Elk River offense off the field for another 5 minutes. And now it'll be a question if they can hold. Sounds like we're missing a real good ball game, Jim.
Yeah, we'll have to stamp this video and let it be known that the Twins and Angels are playing in the ACLS.
Yep. 1-0 Angels, but it has been for most of the game. So
series tied at 1-1.
Yep. And that's the kind of dedication a lot of these people have to their football squads. You know, I was expecting a smaller crowd, expecting a lot of people to be home watching the baseball game tonight, but they love their high school football, and that one's into the end zone. So Elk River will take over at their 20. And Savacool kind of pumped up after that field goal, put him 5 yards deep into the end zone.
Yeah, he's doing it right there. That kid, nice kick though. I mean, special teams for Blaine are really doing the job out there tonight. Yeah, he kicks that 43-yard field goal and then nails one in the end zone, no return on it. So that's what you want.
So Elk River takes over, plenty of time on the clock, 6:41 left to go. Expect them to spread the defense here, and they'll give to Yeager. And he busts out across the 30-yard line to the 34, 14-yard pickup. And Elk River picks up another first down. A lot of room on that right side for Donnie Yeager.
Well, Yeager's a big, strong running back, too, that they have along with him and McAlpine. They're kind of like the 1-2 punch there.
One man split out to the far side. Man in motion. They fake the handoff. Yeager, did he catch it?
I think so.
Yep, they'll give him the catch. And a gain of 7 yards on the play. Brings up a 2nd down and 3 now.
Well, if you want the ball to be in somebody's hands right now, I guess Yeager would be the one, along with Atkinson, because that combination has worked all night.
Well, split Kohler now to the near side. 2 men split to the far side. One is Benson. Lone set back is Yeager. He'll take the handoff and he'll be wrapped up. And there to make the stop for the Bengals was Brian Hansen, getting some playing time tonight and doing a nice job there wrapping him up after a short game. So 3rd down and 2 after the 1-yard pickup. Clock continuing to run here as this game winding down, and it's been a great one so far. Benson split to the far side. Split backs in the backfield. Fake the give to Yeager, the pitch. And stepping out of bounds is Corey Ulmer. But he'll have the first down as he'll pick up 3 yards on the play.
Good job, Corey Ulmer. Nice pitch by Atkinson to get around the outside corner. Ulmer turns it upfield just enough. He knew where the stick was and gets the first down.
So Elk River continuing to move the sticks. Man in motion, fake the handoff. Atkinson with Benson and let him a little bit too far on that one. Nice coverage on the play by Steve Moore, but Benson had an opportunity there to make a nice diving catch, but a little bit too far for him.
Yeah, just a little far out from his reach. It was a nice pass. He kept it low, led him, made sure that the Blaine defender couldn't get the ball. But that's all right. He's trying to get the ball downfield here.
Yeah, and most importantly, as you mentioned, Jim, threw it in a way that there was no chance for an interception on that play. 2nd down and 10. Ball just beyond the 45-yard line. Yeager, the lone setback. In motion goes LaPointe. Fake the handoff, and the pitch is lost out of play. The pitch went to Mitchell Weber, but he couldn't contain it. And they'll call it a forward incomplete pass.
Yeah, that was, you see the pros use this a lot. It's kind of like a quarterback draw, and then they just pitch it up the middle, and hopefully the front blockers have their men contained. They can rip off a few yards with that one, but he just couldn't hang on to it. A lot of times players will think that's a fumble, but
I thought it was at first.
Forward pass.
Yep. No, Elk River
forward
calls
pitch.
Yeah, Elk River calls the timeout. Yeah, kind of like the shuffle pass, but a little bit more of an angle. Tough to tell from our angle at first whether it was forward or not, but it definitely was once we saw the replay. Well, the Elks trying to see if they can put together one last drive here and get a score to take the lead with 5:18. I guess I shouldn't say one last drive. The way these two teams have been getting down the field, you never know.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they've got a 3rd and 10 here. Is it 4-down territory? I don't know. You know, if you get half of this back, you get 5 yards back, do you go for it? Or do you pin Blaine deep and then have them, have your defense come out there? Defensively, Elk River has done a good job. However, I don't know if you want to put the ball back into Blaine's hands because they've ripped off 5 and 6-minute possessions.
And the one thing, if it does come down to a final 2-minute drive or less, Elk River now has burned their 2nd timeout here in the second half. And they're only going to have 1 timeout to work with later in the football game.
Exactly. And that could be big. But you never know. Elk River's got some surprises here, I'm sure.
Okay, Kohler will split to the far side. Split backs in the backfield. Atkinson with the deep drop. Little middle screen. LaPointe lost the football, and Blaine's got it.
Oh.
Let's see who came out of the bottom of the pile. I believe that ball was recovered by Adam Hansen.
Yeah, I think that was. They tried to set up the screenplay on this one, as you can see this. And LaPointe gets the ball and he's running, but he was going to get dropped, but he lost the ball cleanly.
Yeah,
I don't even think he was hit.
Well, Colin Olson got a hand in there. I think that might have caused it, but nonetheless, the Bengals take over 1st and 10 at the 49. The handoff, and I believe that was A.J. Kelly once again, as they'll just pick up where they left off on the last drive. Nope, check that, Cedric Larkins.
Yep.
He'll pick up, give him a yard. And the clock will continue to run as every second that ticks away is in the Bengals' favor right now.
And they will take as much time as they can in the huddle before they run another play.
Yeah, where's Joe Suhan when you need him?
We just saw him, though.
Yeah, just saw him downstairs at halftime. The former assistant coach used to, when Bengals were in a situation like this, he would stand on the sideline with a stopwatch and signal in when they should snap the ball. Here's the handoff to Kelly. Nice hole, and he'll pick up a 1st down. Kelly gains 10, and the Bengals will pick up their 17th 1st down of the night.
1st downs are huge right now. Bengals pick up 2 more 1st downs. They could almost run this clock out.
Yeah, with Elk River only having 1 timeout left, and Bengals take their time coming to the line.
Their job right now is to tackle that football and get a turnover.
Bergeron split to the near side. Parsons. Let's see who's giving the signal over there. It looks like it might be Zeb Mosley. And Larkins with some room down the sideline. He'll be down across the 30. Looks like he'll have enough for another 1st down. They may have to measure. Nope, they'll give it to him.
Now Larkins is in there with the fresh legs here, and he kicks it outside and picks up that 1st down. So it was a 1st down?
Yes, it was. And a pickup, let's give him 11 yards on that one. Bergeron will split to the far side. Larkins and Kelly in the backfield for the Bengals. Parsons looks to the sideline. Hand off to Kelly. He'll dive ahead down to about the 25. Gain of 3 on the play.
This just tears a coach up that's on the other side of the field. I mean, Blaine is just so methodical, handing it off left side, right side, not ripping off big yards, right away, 4 or 5 yard gains. But, great coaching job by our 1st-year head coach, Garrity.
Yeah, and he's learning as the season goes by, as well as the players as well. And things started out a little bit rough for the Bengals this year. Here's Patrick Williams. But they seem to be hitting their stride now as we're about a week and a half away from the beginning of the section playoffs here. And a couple of yard pickup. And 3rd down and 5 now.
Well, they've got the leg of Savico if they go to 4th down, or they can go for the 1st down.
And looks like maybe too much time. Yep, delay of game. 4th penalty on the Bengals for 25 yards, and that hurts because not only do you lose the yardage, but you stop the clock in the process.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think that was something they wanted to do. So They'll have to rethink this and come up with a 3rd down and 10 play.
I think they were trying to get Elk River to jump. There's a couple of hard counts, almost got Elk River to move, but
they're bringing in their 4 receiver set.
It will be Moore and Bergeron to the near side. Rutgers split to the far side. Lone setback is Kelly. We'll give to Kelly, and he'll be down to about the 26. So gain of about 3. Elk River will probably burn their final timeout. We'll see who called this one. Yep, it is Elk River, and they are out of timeouts now. They're going to try to get the ball back with about 2 minutes left. So right now with the ball on the 26, that's about another 43 yards for Savacool. He made the other one, the earlier one, without too much problem. He had a couple of feet to spare as it went over the goal post.
Oh yeah, he had plenty to go on that one. I mean, obviously the wind juiced that one too.
Yep.
But if they go for the field goal, they miss the field goal. Elk River takes over at that spot, I believe, of the field goal attempt. Is that correct in high school?
I'm trying to remember. I think I believe it's the 20 actually.
Okay. So then no timeouts for Elk River now, and after this play is run, it'll probably be less than 2 minutes to go if they get the ball back. It all depends on what Blaine opts to do, and I'm not going to outguess Shannon Garrity's skill in this area.
Well, I see Kyle Savacool in the huddle, but he has come in the game as a wide receiver before. He fooled me, I believe it was the Coon Rapids game. I saw him huddling up and assumed it was going to be a field goal. Nope, they're going to go for it. Savacool comes off, walks over to the bench, and the Bengals are going to go for it here on 4th down and about 8 to go.
Well, I'm sure there was a major brain trust going on there as far as what they want to do. I mean, they've got several options, obviously. Do they keep it on the ground, run it up the middle, turn the ball over? Keeps the clock running. Looks like what they're going to do.
Now Bergeron split to the far side. And they'll call the timeout. They're trying to get Elk River to jump off sides. And now it'll be probably Savacool coming on. Yep, he grabs the tee, and we'll have about another 43-yarder, 42 possibly.
This still, this now forces Elk River to score a touchdown to win or tie. Field goal will not do it now if he makes this.
Exactly.
I think we're getting looked at here, David.
Oh, yes, we are. How you doing, everybody? That's me. That's him.
No, that's me. That's him.
Oh, something like that. Jim's the one in the baseball hat. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, there we go. What a great night for football. What a great game, though.
Yeah, it's been an outstanding one so far. We've had a little bit of everything, and a well-played game on both sides. This is one of those where it's a shame that somebody's going to come away a loser. I know that's a cliche, but both these teams have played their hearts out tonight. So this will actually be a 42-yarder. Savacool gets the foot into it, and it's good.
Oh. The golden leg is Savacool.
So Kyle Savacool will give the Bengals a 6-point lead. And that'll come with 1:58 left for Elk River to work with here.
Well, they go in their 2-minute offense if they have such a thing. They are a very efficient team in passing. So this is nothing new to them. No timeouts makes it a little more difficult, though, if you pass it over the middle. So you're looking at a lot of square outs, a lot of sideline patterns to get out of bounds to stop the clock.
Reminds me of the position the Bengals were in against Coon Rapids a couple of weeks ago. Coon Rapids was driving on their final possession of the game with the same situation. They were out of timeouts, and unfortunately Erickson, their quarterback, lost track of the downs after a timeout. Came out through a pass play. They gained about 6-7 yards on the play, and that was a third down play, and went up and spiked the ball on fourth down and turned it over to the Bengals to end the game. So the Bengals, I don't think, are going to be that fortunate this time around.
No, I don't think so.
Well, 2 men back deep.
Well, does he squib kick it or does he kick it in the end zone?
I think you put it in the end zone. Make him go 80 yards. Or make him catch it at about the 3 and see if you can bring him down. That's a full kick. And Benson in the end zone will take it a couple of yards deep. So no time expires, and they'll take over at the 20 with 80 yards to go and 1:58 to do it in. And this is what it's all about.
That's right. It comes down to this. It comes down to your what you can do in the air, and they can certainly do it. You're going to see the prevent defense here. Well, they're not laying back so far, are they?
Nope. They'll swing it out to LaPointe. Picked off, and Colin Olson will run it in for the touchdown. So the interception for Olson will put this one away for the Bengals with 1:50 left to go. And Olson adds the exclamation point to what should be a Bengal victory.
Yeah, Atkinson didn't even see that coming. Nice play by Colin Olson to read that pass. He hung back off the receiver, timed it perfectly, jumped right in front of him. Nobody there to stop him.
And
it came down to a turnover, Dave.
Yep. The Bengals caught off guard here a little bit with the interception. I don't think they had their point after return ready, and so they had to call a timeout here and get everybody gathered up and all set to go. And they're heading for the exits here at Elk River High School.
Yep. Well, they'll be able to catch the last part of the 2 or 3 innings left in the baseball game.
Exactly.
Now here we go. Now you'll see
okay. Well, maybe we won't see anything. And it looks like the Bengals are going to go for 2 here. As Savakul will stay on the sideline, and will guarantee a 2-touchdown lead here. The handoff to Larkins. No, check that. Fooled me. Parsons kept it, and he stopped short of the goal line, so the 2-point no good. And the Bengals will have to settle for a 12-point lead.
Yeah. I think we'll see a replay here that Colin stepped in front of that ball. I mean, that was just a bad read by Luke Atkinson, and didn't see the defender. It was a gift.
Yeah, Olson earlier tonight had one go off his hands, so he gets a little redemption there. Is able to grab that one easily. And boy, this stadium is clearing out in a hurry.
Yeah, there's a log jam down there.
Yep.
On the right side here. People trying to get out to the parking lot, getting be the first ones out. I don't know if that's good or bad. And, you know, you're supposed to stay here and support your team to the end.
Now here's Savakul on to kick it away for the Bengals. Notice there's a lot of blue still on the far sideline, as that one will be taken at the 20-yard line. as the Bengals faithful will stay to savor this victory.
Like usual. They always do. It could be 40 below zero out here and they wouldn't leave.
It was nearly that last week when we were at Park Center. I was up on top of the press box shooting some video for highlights, and I thought I needed a parka. I almost lost a couple of fingers to frostbite up there.
Yeah, well, you'll get your wonderful weather back again this weekend. It's supposed to be 28 degrees tomorrow night. Ooh.
There's a pass up ahead to Benson. Will fall incomplete. And we'll take another look. Atkinson on the move. Had him open, but just couldn't quite hang on to it. So 2nd down and 10. That burned only 5 seconds off the clock. They'll split 2 men out to the near side, 1 to the far side. Long pass down the field to Benson. He can't hang on. And Brennan Warner there to make the defensive play. Awful close to pass interference there, but looks like he got all ball.
Yeah, actually he was open for a while, and he saw him, and there wasn't that good a coverage on that pass play. I would suspect that they may want to drop those corners and safety back a little bit farther.
Yeah, actually Benson had to come back for that a little bit, but Warner came right back with him. And here's Atkinson. Rolled to his left this time and through the hands of Danny Kohler. So now all of a sudden none of the Elk River receivers seem to be able to catch the football.
No, I mean, it's hit him in the hands. And
well, you got to give the Elk River Elks a lot of credit tonight. They've been on a pretty good roll the last few weeks, and looked like they had a pretty good handle on things as we headed into the 4th quarter, but the Bengals were able to take over the football game. Here's Atkinson. Downfield again. This time Warner fell down and hit it out of the hands of Benson. And oh my goodness. Steven Benson.
I don't even think he wants to go back to the sidelines.
Yeah, and coming over to console him will be Danny Kohler.
Oh, my goodness sakes. I mean,
there was 6 right there.
He probably was surprised that he was that wide open. That was a heck of a pass by Atkinson.
Yeah, Warner fell down on coverage. There, I don't know if you can see him coming into the screen, but and Steven Benson's going to be looking at that play in his dreams tonight.
Jeez. I was ready to look upfield to see if he had running room.
So the Bengals will take over 1st and 10. They can knee it out the rest of the way.
Yep.
As they have it at the 20. Need to get a football out there for Blaine.
I'm going to say either that or he was going to put out another quarterback or replacements. But
and the kneel down play being set up is Patrick Williams set up about 10 yards deep behind the line of scrimmage just in case something does go awry.
Now, does Ryan get a -1
yes,
on
he
each
does.
of these?
Yes, he does. -1 yard rushing. So in reality, he's had a much better year rushing, but they've had so many of these games at the end where he's taken the knee. You know,
sure,
he's probably lost about 15 yards on the knee play. Clock continuing to run. Under a minute to go.
And they're looking to the sideline, see how much time he has left to call a play.
And they'll have to do it one more time.
Well, we just got the news that the Twins have tied the game with Anaheim 1-1 in the 7th or 8th inning, I think.
Touch them all, Jock Jones.
Yeah.
That's good. He was due.
Oh my gosh, was he due? Everybody in the world knew he was due.
And this will be the final play of the game as the Blaine Bengals defeat the Elk River Elks by a final score of 40-28. Great game tonight, Jim. Played on both sides, but the Bengals able to persevere and take advantage of a turnover and put this one away.
Yeah, it was a very enjoyable game, Dave. You know, you had Elk River that was down 28-14. Actually, they were down 28-7 in the first half. They scored that one touchdown just before the half ended, and then they come roaring back and tie the game at 28-28. And then a couple costly turnovers turned the game absolutely 360 degrees. And Blaine, defensively, they showed what they could do in the fourth quarter, and put a touchdown on the board and put the game in the bag for them.
Well, a great night all the way around for the Bengals. Ryan Parsons had a great night. A.J. Kelly, kind of a coming out game for him. We'll call him our player of the game, although there are several. Patrick Williams with a couple of touchdown runs. Steve Moore with a couple of touchdown receptions. Kyle Savakul with a couple of field goals. And Ryan Olson, only one interception, but it was a big one that wrapped up the game for the Bengals. Well, as you see the Gatorade being emptied on the field, I think that's our cue to go for my partner, Jim Kappelhoff. I'm Dave Washburn, and for the rest of the crew, good night, everybody.